So I'll probably do this several times over the next couple of weeks so that everybody who comes in has the opportunity to see this. But on Sunday night, at 7, during the sub only live, we got to talking about what we would do for the next Digital After Dark. And romance scammers, we've dabbled in talking about it a little bit, but it's another scam that is run through social media, dating apps, and it doesn't matter what dating app you're on. It could be Christian Mingle, it could be Farmers, it could be Black, well, I don't think there's Black Planet anymore. But whatever it is, whatever niche, because they try to, like, it used to just be whatever, and everybody could join. And then they started creating these niche dating sites so that, like, if you're a Christian, you go to Christian Mingle, you expect everybody on there to be a Christian, etc. There's a Jewish one. So they're everywhere. Hey, Candy. Good morning, Granny Annie. I think it's something we need to talk about, in part because it is very easy to fall victim, especially if you want a relationship. And we know, based on the scammers, that even friendship can be taken advantage of. So we talked about it, and we thought it would be a good idea to do that. I told you guys I had to help my therapist help one of her patients get out of it, and she didn't get out of it unscathed. Even though her therapist was telling her, her daughter was telling her, she believed in it all the way up to selling her home and all of her belongings and sitting in the house for more than 24 hours with her luggage, expecting a car to come pick her up and fly her to their new home that she spent her money buying the home. And after, I think it was 30 hours, her daughter finally went and just got her and brought her back to her house. And, like, you could not convince her. And it even got to the point where she, what's the word I'm looking for? She, even though that happened, she's lost thousands and thousands of dollars. When she moved in with her daughter, she told her daughter that she, like, blocked him on everything, but she hadn't. I think she blocked him from her phone and, like, social media, but he could still get in touch with her on WhatsApp. It took a long time, and her basically losing everything for her to understand. It is incredibly common. So I'm going to play some videos. We're going to have some people come up. I'm going to try to get a romance scammer to come and talk about it. I'll see. I'm going to try. So they can talk about how it's a business. They consider it a job. They're trained from a very young age. Okay, if it's already skipping, do me a favor. If you're having a problem, go in and go out. Because it's kind of early for it to already be skipping. I haven't even shown who I'm going to talk about today. Let's get to that. I'm sorry. I thought I had downloaded it, but I hadn't. So today is going to be a little bit different than my usual, only because for some of these people, it's not even like normally how I take notes on everything they say. Some of them I'm just going to riff on because going through what they said and how they said it isn't even the point. By the way, two things. If you're a member of the team, hit the Daily Heart Me. If not, stick around. If you like what you hear, join the team. Every time I change a photo, please like the live. You already know we have people who don't like us. They don't like what we're talking about. They don't like the exposure that we are giving to people on this app. So they'd like to come in and create a problem. Thank you, Joey. I appreciate it. So, yeah, like the live until you feel the heart's tale. And if you've come from the FYP, let me know. I'd love to know. It's 5:45. I just woke up. Thank you, Sarah, for coming in after just waking up. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you spending your morning with me. Hopefully, you enjoy it. That's the goal. And to learn something. So this morning, and I just want to say this again, gifts are appreciated. They are not necessary. They are not required. Let me put that out there right off the rip. So today we're going to talk about Carla C. Sean is back on TikTok, and we'll discuss why. Tim and Angela, Christina, I got some very disturbing information on her. Zimonique, Precious and Lindsay, who were new to me, Miss Carrie, and Cody made an announcement. Thank you, Erica. So, who are we going to... Let's just talk about Cody off the rip, because... So we know Cody to be... Oh, thank you. We know Cody to be the dry begging queen of TikTok. And she came on, let's see, was it yesterday? Yes. No, it was Wednesday, actually. Oh, thank you, Greenie Annie. You know I love that one. Thank you, thank you. Well, she came on upset, saying that people are taking screenshots and videos and sending them to the kid's stepmom. If you weren't doing anything wrong, why would that matter? Why would that matter to the kid's stepmom? Like, that's not their mother, that's their stepmom. But I think that when she was going to court with relationship to them, she took time away from TikTok. Now, when she came back several weeks ago, she said that she spoke to her lawyer and discussed coming back to TikTok. And what the lawyer told her was that she could come back but not to beg. So when she first came back, she was just talking. She eventually was like, I can't, I have an Amazon wish list, but I can't even talk about it. And she said it over and over and over again, how she couldn't talk about it. And then we saw how much that Amazon wish list was. $7,000. That wasn't a wish list, girl. You were shooting for the moon. And then she'll be like, I didn't even talk about it. I said it like one time. Girl, you don't say anything one time. Right. She kept bringing it up over and over and over again. Good morning, good morning. So I went in her live and I was like, is it true that your Amazon wish list is $7,000? She wigged out. Luna, Louise, him and her should be out there shopping for the kids. You know that your kids have to go back to school. Why would you rely on social media to take care of your children being able to go back to school? And she was like, I want the kids to go back looking nice. $130 pair of sneakers are not necessary for your children to go back to school looking nice. You want them to look above their station, which I understand as a mother. However, if that's what you want, then you need to do something about it and not expect TikTok to do it. And what was crazy was that she said that her Amazon wish list included things for her man's twins. So now you expect people on TikTok to take care of your boyfriend's kids too? And she was like, I didn't even calculate it. I sat down with the kids. And what you did was you set up an expectation that they could get anything they wanted. And you guys know that I have been talking about the fact that she has been setting up her kids since Christmas. When people cared about the kids, and that's usually a good time to come to TikTok and say you'd like to get the kids Christmas gifts, because a lot of people are giving at that time. But you didn't stop there. Within a month, you wanted a birthday party covered. And I mean, they brought everything from the pizza to the decorations to the soda to the gifts. His largest gift came from somebody on TikTok. And what happened when the next child needed a birthday? She did the exact same thing. But people were less giving. And she literally had the little boy come and say, why aren't people buying him gifts like they did the last one? And I said to y'all, at some point, people are going to stop giving. Because it will be a never-ending cycle. She's begging for like 5+ kids and holidays. And now it's back to school. And I think the only reason why she came back was so that she could get her back to school money. But what happened was that in her absence, some of her largest financial supporters walked away. They walked away. They took the opportunity. Because, and I think it's Fuck It that says they don't have a limit. They will keep asking and asking and asking. There's no limit. There's no like, okay, you took care of Christmas, I'll come back next Christmas. No. Once that happened, and then she was getting her cell phone paid for, her internet paid for, and she always would use like her daughter. Like, how am I going to talk to my daughter in her doctor's without internet or a phone? So she'd get her phone covered saying that, and then it would be, the kids are going stir crazy without internet, and rattle, 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 and that would get covered too. So it wasn't even just kids focused. And I love when they say, I'm just talking, I'm not asking for anything. How is that possible? If you're not asking for anything, why are you mentioning it at all? You could say, I got a lot of pressure, I'm stressed, kids got to go back to school, I got to get ready for it, I'm not ready, but I'm going to figure it out. Right, the pure meaning of dry begging. But why are you concerned about the kid's stepmom getting the videos? Is it because you're afraid that it's going to blow up in your face if you have to go back to court? Because they definitely told you to stop it. I know they did, especially when it comes to the daughter. Because one of the things that disturbed me about her so much was how much of her daughter's medical private information she was putting on a public app. And I don't care if you go private. It's still a public app. So when they're like, oh, we're in a private live, what does that mean? But she never did that because she knew better. She knew she was already getting like 8, 9, 10 views. Going private, she'd have 2. That wouldn't get the word out. Then she said she's sick as hell and she's only out to pick up her son's meds. And that people are trying to ruin her life. She was upset about her views and the number of people in her life. Not because she's trying to expand her viewership, but that people weren't in there sending money right away. Right. Now, when her big spenders were in there, that's all it took was 10 people. They were all givers. They stopped showing up. And my question is always, if something is upsetting you that much, walk away. Walk away. There was life before TikTok, people. You don't have to be here. But it's always the ones begging for something that are upset with it so much. You weren't upset when you were getting gifts and money. And when I mean gifts, I'm not talking about TikTok gifts. I mean having Christmas covered and birthdays covered by strangers. And then she says something about her kids ending up in foster care. Why? And I was like, oh, this is the guilt trip. Then she said, I'm good. I don't need this crap. She's like, I'm getting rid of TikTok. Well, I'm just not going to come live anymore. But if you want to talk to her, you can message her. So you're not really leaving TikTok. You're doing a dramatic, I'm leaving, woe is me, miss me, and if you do, send me a message. My account will still be here for my almost guaranteed return, but I'm leaving. Then she said, and if you send me a message and I don't reply, It's because she knows you're a traitor. What was that announcement about? And the reality is that I don't think she was upset about being streamed, pictures being taken. She knew that was happening months ago. She is concerned that her begging, because she went from claiming that she wasn't mentioning it while mentioning it to just straight up, I have an Amazon wish list. It's time for the kids to go back to school. I'm running out of time. I really need help. And if you don't want to do the Amazon wish list, send to my payment app. And I mean over and over and over again. And what she was doing, which I think is a great idea, she had the kids cutting grass. I applaud her for that. You are teaching them the work ethic that you don't have. But what she would then do is sit there on TikTok and talk about this Amazon wish list. And she'd sprinkle in some other things and then back to the Amazon wish list. It literally became one run-on beg. How is that anybody else's fault? How is it anybody else's fault that we know it was over $7,000? You did it. What you're mad about is that you didn't think anybody would take enough time to pay attention. And so, in her farewell speech, right...
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Nosy girl, nobody is talking to you. In her farewell speech, she makes sure to remind everybody are me and no, honey. Dr. Karma, no. Don't ever confuse us. We are not from the same area. In her farewell speech, she reminded everybody about her Amazon wish list and her payment app. And then she left. Well, goodbye. You're not here. I won't talk about you. But I'll be waiting for your return. Because I think all of that was to engender the people who do like you to send in. And when they send in, you'll be back. Or the next time you need something, you'll be back. But goodbye. Goodbye for as long as it lasts. Thank you for letting us know you were leaving. She'll be back for sure. Correct. She'll need something else. We used to be friends until she kept bringing up her wish list. I have my own kids to support. Exactly right. Exactly right. And I know you weren't the only one that felt that way. Oh, yes, I've changed the photo. Please tap until you feel the heart's tail and then take a break. If you want to tap after that, be my guest. We almost had 1 million likes on Monday. I was shocked because I don't care about the number at the end. But I see it when I look at the analytics after it's over. I appreciate you guys for doing that. Because you know, apparently I have 200 people in here reporting me. So I appreciate it. So, Big Zim. She is up here not because she begs, because that's every day. That's every day. And literally every day she has another reason to need money. She can ask for $485 today, get it, and tomorrow she'll need $130. But this is my problem with Zen. She went on this long tirade about how she's sick of people coming for her, having things to say about her, that she wouldn't be with anybody that was that close in relationship to her, but why is it our business? That she's been through everything from sleeping on trains to sleeping in cars to this, that, and the third with her man, and she's not leaving him. That at this point they are just together, or they, even if they weren't together, they would be together for the sake of the children. And she's upset that other women are asking, yeah, we can help use them, but what is your man doing? That's supposed to be none of our business. That if she needs help for her kids, she's going to come here and ask for it. And whether he does it or not, she's going to make it happen. She also added that even if he got with somebody else, that they would still be locked in. And that she'd be friends with the other woman because it's about the children. Now that is a mature stance. But you say it not because you're mature. You say it because you want people to lay off of him. You want people to not have any expectation of him. And let me say this. I also think this tirade was going on because according to her, people reached out to her landlord. Now, I don't know what they said because it wasn't me. But I think that her baby daddy isn't on her lease. She said he was, but maybe on the lease as a visitor. Maybe on the lease as the father to the children, so he'll be there on a regular basis. But he ain't on her Section 8. Extremely manipulative. And so she says he has his own house to go to. So why is he never there? Why is he never there? Granny Annie, I agree. He's always there. And she was like, when we need something, he goes out there and does what he has to do. And I don't care what it is as long as he's taking care of the kids. So then how come he isn't out there every day making it happen? Like, you want to throw those statements out like they mean something. But if he was about making sure y'all had everything y'all needed, you shouldn't have to be on here begging. And it pisses me off because she uses being a mother of all of these children, and she's taking advantage of women that look like her. Some of them are single mothers. And they're taking care of you and your man and all the kids. That's my problem on top of everything else. Why would my $20 go to taking care of a grown, able-bodied man? What do you mean it's none of our business? When you buy groceries, does he not eat them? And no, nobody cares about your eye. Whatever happened, happened. And now you only have the use of one eye. Nobody cares about that though. What we care about is you taking care of your children. She is in a house larger than most of the people in her chat. I don't care if it's Section 8. We all know you get food stamps even though you claim you don't. If nobody in the house is getting a salary, how are you feeding the kids? But she likes to say that because when she asks for food, we don't get no food stamps around here. So how are you living with no income? And then, if you can't afford the first one, the second one, the third one, why are we on number 6? You want to tell us what's going on in your household is none of our business, but what's in my pocketbook is yours? And let's take me out the equation. What is in the pocketbook of the people who actually like and care about you is your business, but what's going on in your household is none of ours? I love the hypocrisy. You want money from people, but you don't want to hear them say your man needs to get up and get a job. You don't want to hear anybody say to you, you need to get your tubes tied. You need to use some form of contraception because you are only adding to the problem. That's none of our business. I love how people choose lifestyles for themselves, and then we're supposed to just rock with it. Oh, well, that's okay. It's okay when you're taking care of yourself. And what cracks me up is that she's actually confirmed what I said. That battling is just a glorified TikTok-sanctioned begathon. But while you were winning at it, you were cool with it. You were cool with it when you were bringing in big money by battling. And when that came to an end, suddenly, it's greed. It's greed to battle. Miss Mandy, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Because when they stop getting money one way, they will always go to the next way. And if she doesn't win a bunch of battles, she'll be right back to saying my goal is such and such. And it cracks me up because the goal is always something for the kids. Because if she said me and my man want steak and lobster, you're not going to get that. But if you say you don't have any food in the house for the kids, oh, I know she was mad. Even though they get to keep the gifts, the higher ranking, the more people get pushed to their chat, the more money they make. It's a numbers game on TikTok. Why don't they take Lisa down? Because of her numbers. Why don't they take Maggie down? Because of her numbers. It's a numbers game for TikTok. They're always telling you what ranking you are. And what cracks me up is they link your ranking to how much money you get. Not to the quality, to how much money you get in your life. Luna, it's not. But a lot of people, as do I, have sympathy for children because they didn't ask to be here. The only way she doesn't have food stamps is if they got taken away because of fraud. That's the only way. Or when she was making big money on TikTok, she no longer qualifies. So if you couldn't afford number 5, why are we at number 6? And now that and if you want to lie and say you could afford 5, then if you can't afford 6, why isn't he out there hustling every day, making a way for you and your kids? Good morning. Good morning to everybody that came in since I started. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday. You don't get to make piss poor decisions and make it somebody else's problem and responsibility. And I don't know why people feel pressure to give up their coin. You don't have nothing else to do with it. If not, I have a clap that does flips and we're going to take her on the road. Can you fund my trip? I have a bridge between my house and Walmart that I would like to build. Can you come fund that? I want a beachfront property. Can you fund that? Because it doesn't make sense to me. And if they weren't getting the money, they'd have a blow up and stop asking for a little while. Do you think she's not going to get big money after having this baby? Look at Quay, who I heard is pregnant again. Vivian, let me ask you a question. She and her man are able-bodied adults. I think when they came on, they had 4 children. If I'm not mistaken, maybe 3. And while both of those able-bodied adults lay around in their home, they expect other people to pay their way. And some people fall under the trap of not just her, but others. I'm talking about 8 people today. So this isn't just about her. I do multiple people on every stream. And I appreciate you being here and commenting. I don't feel that it is fair of her to use her children to get money out of people when she has a grown man laying in the house playing video games while people who are hardworking, who are out there making a way for themselves, fund her lifestyle. Now, you could disagree with me. That's fine. I don't expect everybody who comes in here to agree with me. And if you want to give her your money, be my guest. I have no qualms about it. I'm not even here talking to you. I'm talking to the people who may feel like, oh my God, I see this woman, she's disabled, she has all these children, she's pregnant, let me help her. Not realizing that there's a grown man in that house that does nothing every day, but talks shit in the background. She wants us to be concerned about his feelings while she's concerned with what's in your wallet. So, wait a minute. I missed comments because I was talking. Correct. Yeah, keep the chat cute. We don't do a lot of nonsense. And it is okay for someone to not either understand what we're doing or agree with it. That's okay. That is absolutely okay. Don't come for Vivian. She has an opinion. And the reason why Vivian can have an opinion, because I can have one. And no one has to agree with mine or hers. But I'm just explaining why I'm talking about her. This isn't a tear down another black woman. This is black women. What are we doing? What are we doing? We're 6 kids deep, but we don't have our GED. We're already talking about baby number 7 because we found out baby number 6 is a girl and we want another boy. We moved into a house bigger than just about everybody who has ever given her a dime and still asking for money. You don't have to like the truth, but the truth is the truth. Thank you, Marion. Angel hilarious. I'm going to talk about that, Angel. Stick around for a second, because we got a holy roller that ain't so holy. It's not about color. But I get hit with, you're a black woman, how can you tear down another black woman? I get hit with that all the time. How can you talk about another black woman? Because who else is going to correct it? If I don't stand on the side of right, who's going to correct it? I saw somebody in Faith Live last night say, if you're a friend, you're supposed to support regardless. I can support you and also be honest with you. A real friend keeps it a buck. When you have yes men around you, they are yes men because either they don't have a spine or they want to get in good. A real friend tells you the truth. I love when, like, your girlfriend will come to you and tell you your man is cheating. You get upset, you confront the man, y'all make up, and now y'all are mad at the friend that told you. Make it make sense. Correct, Alley Cat. Do not, when you start yesing me to death, I'm side-eyeing you. Because to me, you're not my real friend. Especially when I know that I've done some foolishness, and you're like, girl, don't worry about it. Vivian, you're correct. You are 100% correct. That has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. I am trying to prevent the next person from giving their money. I want them to understand the insidiousness of the beg. That is 100% accurate. I'm not talking to the people who know. If you know and you want to continue to give your money, here's the door. Walk right through it. Have a good time. Enjoy it. I'm trying to hit the people before they send a dime. Because she's playing in your face. She says battling is greed, and then she battles. One night, she was asking for $90 to $80 to buy groceries to feed her kids. And she kept saying, I have the sides, I just need meat. While there's a grown man in there playing a video game. And she didn't get it. Why are you feeding your children at 9 p.m. at night? Well, not even feeding them at 9, trying to get groceries at 9 o'clock at night. She has little bitties. We're not talking teenagers. They should have been in the bed, quite frankly. But okay, it's summer. Do what you want. And when she didn't get it, it wasn't like, I don't have any meat to feed my children. She was like, well, I guess we're going to have to do what we have in the house for dinner. But earlier in the day, did DoorDash. Lena, you don't. But you had money to DoorDash earlier. But now you want people's money so you can go grocery shopping? The priorities are off. And most people who are swiping don't know anything about her situation. They don't know that there's a grown man laying in there. They don't know. All they know is she's big, pregnant, and she got a bunch of kids running around constantly crying. And I mean all the time. And they think, oh, I could send her $20. And I want y'all to also remember this. Sending $20 sounds innocent, right? But what a lot of them will do is if you sent them money in the past, they'll reach out to you behind the scenes. They'll request money from you later on. Good morning. So what seemed like an innocent, I'm going to just send you $20 to help you out, turns into months of requests. Yes, she did. On live. Told one of her kids, you can meet the Lord today if you don't stop. Now, I know I shouldn't say all, a lot of mothers would do that, right? And be like, I brought you in this world, I'll take you out. They didn't do it on social media, though. Thank you, sissy. I appreciate all. Yes, Mrs. Mandy, my mom was quick with it. I appreciate silent watchers. I appreciate window watchers. I appreciate the people who are recording so that they can do whatever they want to do with it. I appreciate it all. Thank you very much for being here. And Vivian, I appreciate you making your point. Because it gives me an opportunity to break it down for other people who may be new here. Thank you. Just like all of them, the money's going to dry up. Now, she's about to drop a baby, so I anticipate a lot of money coming her way. And if it's not money, it'll be stuff off of the Amazon wish list. I'm just saying this. If your man can go out and provide for you guys, why doesn't he do it every day? All I want to know. Why doesn't he do it every day? Why are the people in your audience responsible for your daily needs? Having the baby, I understand. You don't have a lot of family. And there are things that you absolutely have to have for a baby, right? You got to have a car seat, which I'm not asking her to use an old one because they could have been recalled by now. But you have to have a car seat. Even if you're not driving, you have to have a car seat before you leave the hospital. You need wipes and Pampers, and having a baby is supposed to be a joyous occasion. I'm not mad at that. What I'm mad about is that we're on number 6 and we couldn't afford 5. We couldn't afford 4. We couldn't afford 3. Fluffy, a street pharmacist. Correct. But let me tell you something. You don't make any money not hustling if you're a street pharmacist. You can't go out once every 2 weeks and provide. And talking about number 7 because they want another boy. You can't afford 6 that is in your belly. Why are we discussing 7? And I cannot believe Quay is pregnant. I'm starting to think that she has that, it's a clinical diagnosis for women who just love a baby. And her baby is a baby. She just had the baby this year. Are we going to try to have a baby every year until we can't? And again, this is the issue. Quay doesn't work. Her housing is covered. Her food stamps are covered. Her medical is covered. That's your tax dollars. So even if she isn't bringing, you're not sending her money, you're already paying for her. Correct. Somebody's saying Quay a rebirth baby so that it'll stay a baby. Because if she's pregnant again and I haven't verified it, I am through. Get a rebirth baby until you can afford another one. Yes, they are often. Wait a minute. What? Quay wants to keep numbers. She said that she's in a relationship with the female, but she's still bae. And I've seen where she said she was. Wow. And so, it's not my money, but y'all find it acceptable for them to take advantage of other people? Quay got her tubes tied. Hilarious. Quay is a troll, though. Quay is a troll. And she will say things just to get people talking. When she said this current baby was from a married man and the wife called and rattle. She's a troll. What is it called? Perinatal OCD is more common than we think. It is. It is. I'm not making stuff up. But Zim, when you and your man stand on business, then you can give us a speech. Until then, move along. Move along to your next beg. Because we don't want to hear about it. There is surrogacy, but... And you know how much money you could get? But I promise you, who's going to use Quay? I mean, either one of them as a surrogate. What? You online begging for money to feed yourself? Yeah. No. Mr. Texas Sean is back on TikTok. And guess why? Right. And back in the day, you had a lot of kids because there were several reasons. A, illnesses were rampant. And so you had one kid, you were likely to lose that one kid. secondarily, a lot of people worked on the land. They had farms, etc. And so you needed to build an army of your own. And there was a time when having that many children was actually affordable. If the father got out there and worked his butt off, he could take care of his family. I remember somebody saying that they had a full-time job at McDonald's and they were able to earn enough to still get an apartment. You couldn't rent a room working full-time at McDonald's right now. Different times require different actions. And there is a mindset where you grew up on government and you die on the government. Like your whole life is government assistance. Generations. And my generation was the generation that said we wanted to break generational curses. If I grew up in the projects, doesn't mean I gotta live in the projects, doesn't mean I gotta unalive in the projects. But there literally were generations. The mama was there, the daughters were there, the daughters' daughters were there. We were supposed to break all of that. We had opportunities to go to school, to get an education, to better our station. The most educated population in the United States are black women. So why are y'all still where you are? You keep popping out kids but not a GED? I'm not mad you didn't finish high school. It wasn't viable for everybody. But if you haven't taken your own education seriously, I'm supposed to presume that you're doing it for your children when you don't even pay attention to them? Dion Dior, what do you mean? And where are you? What statement did you disagree with? Thank you for the heart, me. Good morning, Trolla. What statement did you disagree with? African American felt like that was shady. What was shady? I'm a black woman. What was shady? That I said that it'll be generation after generation after generation? COO. And I had a baby at 19. COO. Again, thank you, K. Shauna. I'm going to say it again. Dion, we don't start at 6 kids and then decide, oh, well, I'm going to turn it around now. While I'm talking about having number 7. If I can't be honest with my own people, what is my purpose? It's all in God's timing? Baby girl, I know that sounds good. I know that sounds good. But if we're going to add God to the mix, let's start with you shouldn't be having premarital sex. So why aren't they married? The Bible says that you're supposed to raise your child up in the way that God prescribes. She doesn't pay them any attention. So how is she teaching them about God? God says that a man is supposed to take care of his family, or he is worse than an infidel. Don't bring God in here and use it. Good morning, Guardians of Valor, my governor. Don't bring God in here, because that's not a debate you want to have with me. God blesses action. No, I'm not expecting perfection. I'm not. Well, if you're Muslim, then you know that being a Muslim, premarital sex is frowned upon there as well. In the Muslim religion, if you want to have more than one wife, you have to be able to afford her and the children. Being a Muslim on government assistance is frowned upon. If you are the man of a family, it is your responsibility to take care of said family. You know this. God, Jesus, Jehovah, Allah, whoever it is, he has expectations of his followers. You have to live to a standard to please God. So don't bring God in when we haven't paid attention to anything that God has asked us to do, and then be like, well, God is going to bless me. God blesses action, not begging. Yep. Listen, if you are taking care of your family, then you don't have to beg on TikTok. Why are you having more babies that you can't afford? Like, make it make sense. Why do we feel like we have to excuse every single behavior? Oh, someone unalived your family member. Well, it's all in God's timing. Somebody breaks in your house. Well, that must have been God's will. God wanted them to do that. Come on now. If we can't keep it a buck in our own community, excuse me, I don't allow people to comment on the way people look. If it happens, I apologize, and we should get it out of here. I don't do that. You will never in your life hear me talk about somebody's looks in a derogatory way. What I said was, we don't care about her only having one eye. That doesn't matter to me. But this is the other thing. You are telling me that I shouldn't talk about her based on what I see, what I hear, and what I think. Why are you here telling me that? Why aren't you over there telling her to get her life together? Like, the hypocrisy is dripping off of you. But anyway, I've already moved on. Like, we're on to Sean. Thank you, though. Thank you. It's called nuance. I'll let you have it. Okay. It's nuance. Anyway, Sean. Now, Sean begged for months while he lived in his car. And he had this big vision of buying land, buying a van he could live in, and like I can't remember if it was a camper or he wanted to build on. I honestly can't remember, but it was this big plan that he wanted everybody else to pay for. Now, my question is, you cannot work, so you're on Social Security, but you can build your home? There are multiple Ericas. I don't know which Erica you're talking about. If it's Erica Wilkes, hopefully she's getting the mental health care that she needs. Because it was getting scary. So, then he promised everybody that when he moved into, yeah, that's Erica Wilkes. I am hoping she's getting the mental health care she needs. Yes, 70,000. If you can't work, how can you build the home and the land? Somebody make that make sense to me. And I have already debunked the idea that you are not allowed to work while you're on Social Security. You are. There are just financial limits to that. Correct, Guardians of Valor, he does. And as his ex said, the only military he was in was the one on his Xbox. That's the only military he was in. Was the one he created on his Xbox. From the couch. Exactly. Good morning to everybody that just came in. Call of Duty player. Exactly. But you know, whatever works for you, Sean. Stop getting discounts saying you're a veteran. That's disgusting. You didn't put your life on the line for anyone, let alone for the country. I've already moved on. Why are you trying to have a debate with me about something that's already over? Oh, you get blocked from who, Fatima? So, I don't know. He is stolen valor. Yes, he is. So, he promised that when he got this place, he wasn't going to need anything. He gets the place, and he's like, ha, 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 to all of us. Oh, he pre-blocked you? Well, he lurks. He lurks in our community to see who to block. Which is why I have enough accounts. Block me 1,000,000 times. I'll be back. I'll be watching. And if I don't feel like doing it, I'll watch you on YouTube. Thank you. Correct. Unstable. He doesn't want a relationship with you, baby girl. If that's not his daughter. Anyway. So, he was like, I'm getting the place, I don't need nothing. And then as soon as he got in the place, he was begging, what was it, for the TV so he could play his Xbox? Okay, sir. Oh, Unstable is his cousin? Okay. Like, she rocked so hard for him. Does she get a kickback? Well, okay. That might not be the technical term, but we consider stolen valor claiming that you did military service and you didn't. So I apologize if that's not the technical term, but that is the term we use when someone claims that they were active military and they weren't. Yeah, Unstable should be his middle name. So, anyway, they buy him a television. They buy him the food that he eats. Even though he would qualify for food stamps. He probably has them. Remember, he got the cat and then tried to say, well, if I get it as an emotional support animal, my insurance will cover her vet bills? Sir, you don't research a single thing. You think that if you've thought of it, that it makes sense to you, that it must have happened. Sean, you don't make sense ever. And we left you alone when you ran over there to favorite it. You were still begging, but we moved on to other people. I haven't talked about you in months. Yes, the Everclear, which is... I don't even know how to describe Everclear. It's clear fire in a bottle. Like, people who drink Everclear are... It's cheap. And it gets you drunk. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. So, wasn't it my surprise that I woke up to him being on TikTok? Did he come back because we had stopped covering him? No. He came back because he wants more money. And you're not going to get that over there in Favorited. Kurt, I knew that. Let me tell you something. Wait, who said that? I'm sorry. Whoever said he's chasing a woman, oh, Lana B. Nana, without knowing that, I knew that. Illinois? I thought he said he would be closer to Maine. I mean, I guess Texas, Illinois, I guess it is closer to Maine. Really, Charlotte? Well, now he wants a new car, a new truck, to move across the country. For a woman that he probably thinks he's going to move in with, and then he doesn't have to worry. Her money will pay for everything, and his money will be for him. Donna said we don't want him. And he's on there talking about his big dreams that he wants you to fund. He's wearing another man who wants to live with a woman as if they're married and they're not. Ooh, wait a minute. Oh, he said he has to drive through Connecticut. What? Oh, I know why he wants to drive through Connecticut, but that's the long way around. That's like driving from Texas to Florida, then up the East Coast to Connecticut, and then back across the country to Illinois. Yeah, he offers so much. Lady, through osmosis, don't do it. Do not take Sean in. Don't do it. He knows he can talk a good game. Like, I'm sending her love and support. Don't do it. I don't know who you are, but you're in the state of Illinois. Don't do it. Please. Because we'll have another woman on here. Because he's not going to stop TikTok. A lonely woman would have him. Because he knows how to say what he needs to say to convince them. It is not until they actually spend time with him that they realize big mistake. But he's not moving there without a place to stay. He's not going back to living in his car. So when he gets there, he plans on landing on her doorstep. He probably has someone that's not on social media. He would... Really? Yeah, he has goals, all right. How do you have goals based on somebody else's money? She is on social media. What is she thinking? He does believe his own lies. Because in order for him to remain consistent, he has to believe it. You can always... She's a mod. Oh, my God. Ma'am, I'm going to have to find out who she is and tell her. Sean's angel. Ma'am, don't do it. You know what? I got to come out of there because TikTok is annoying. I'm sorry. The stuff that TikTok says to me that doesn't matter, but they do it over and over. They're like, this person didn't complete their daily mission. Remind them to hit the daily heart me and do everything else so they could get points. Literally, for everybody that hasn't done it, that's what comes up. This is Sean. Yeah, he wants to go to Connecticut. Is Scammy? I haven't seen Scammy talk about him in I don't know how long. So why is he still fixated on him, on her? What's your Cash App? Why would you need my Cash App? Tell TikTok my card got hacked on TikTok. I'm not putting a card back on TikTok. Listen, Fluffy. She streamed him last night? Guardians of Valor, it's not the only way, but it's the easiest and the fastest. It's the easiest and the fastest to get money that way. You don't have to do nothing but sit on your couch. You can even play your game and get your goal. That's the easiest. Yes, gifts are appreciated but not expected. No one will ever get my Cash App on here. What do I need Cash App for? I don't need Cash App on here. I would never put my Cash App. That's weird. If you truly want to support me, join the team. Like the live. until you feel the heart's tale. That's all I need. I don't need nothing else. People gift me because they appreciate what I do. I share those gifts, and that's it. My Cash App is not necessary. I'm good. Okay, let's go to the Holy Roller. I talked about Miss Carla on Monday. You don't even have Cash App? You know what's funny? I do. I love my Cash App. And I'm going to tell you one of the reasons why I love my Cash App. I pay all my bills through Cash App. Now, Cash App is not my bank account. But I pay all my bills through Cash App. Because when you spend money on Cash App, they take it immediately. You don't got to ever worry about overdrafting a Cash App unless you're Tim and Angela. But you pay the bill, it's taken out immediately. They get their money, and I don't have to worry about it. I also have Cash App because all of the kids have Cash App. They don't even think about getting a bank account. Thank you. Thank you for the daily heart me. They don't even think about getting a bank account. So, right, Shell. Like, that's it. You only have to send your team money. Yeah, that's what the kids have. That's what you end up with. So let's talk Carla. So I talked about her on Monday because you guys know that I cannot stand someone using their spirituality, their relationship with God to take advantage of people. And Carla started her platform on talking about her spiritual journey and being uplifting. She prays for people, the whole 9 yards. And some people don't realize that just because someone says God doesn't mean that they actually serve the God you serve. I tell y'all every time, do not let anybody on this app pray for you unless you know them personally. One of the biggest lies ever told was that the devil didn't know what was going on. He knows the Bible better than you do. Exactly, Marion. He knows the Bible better than you do. And if he can get you to serve him while you think you're serving God, he's won twice. Stephanie, I just haven't lately. Apparently, he's been talking to girls, making them think that they're in a relationship to get money. Correct. The devil started out as an angel who decided he wanted God's power. And it's all started with the lie. And let's bear something in mind. The lie didn't start with Adam and Eve. It started with his fellow angels. Clearly, he was walking around saying, who does God think he is? Southern bitch. Yo. God isn't going to tell you to do something that puts yourself in harm's way. That's not God. The devil knows you just as much as God does. He watches our every move. So just because someone is up here, God this, God that, spiritual this, spiritual that, have some discernment. There are people who don't believe in the whole Bible. And if you do, why would you listen to somebody that doesn't believe in the whole Bible? Now, if you don't, cool. If you're not a spiritual person, cool. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with someone being an atheist or an agnostic. You could be Jewish, Catholic, Muslim, Christian, Pentecostal, Jehovah's Witness. I don't care. That's not the point for me. The point is that if you are going to claim Christianity, if you are going to claim that God is moving you, why are you on TikTok begging? If God meant it for you, God would provide. Let me give you an example. A lot of people give gifts during Christmas based on the fact that when Jesus was born, they were given gifts. The part of the story that most people miss is that they weren't just gifts. They were God providing, because they had to run to Egypt. And they would be foreigners in the land of Egypt. So for preventing them from being without, he provided so that when they could get there and survive. God provides. And when they're always like, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. Going and looking for a job is opening your mouth. It's not exclusive to begging on TikTok. Is an open mouth. Again, you guys have it confused. During Jewish times, they were ordered to leave a portion of the land, whatever they were growing, so that people could come who were poor, so that they would be provided for. They could eat. It was mandatory. But guess what he didn't say? That they could sit home and get somebody else to do it. They had to go to the land to get it. It didn't get delivered to their doorstep. Okay, Misty Muffy, let me write it down. It used to be fun, Southern Bish. And there are still parts of it that are fun. Like I said, my personal account has nothing to do with this one. And I use its algorithm to avoid this, so that I can, like, when they were making the babies do like Dr. Phil shows or cats and dogs doing funny things, I veer in that direction. Oh. Okay. All right. Cool. No problem. So, saying a closed mouth doesn't get fed doesn't equate to begging on TikTok. I wasn't here Wednesday. Let me remind everybody, if you come on and you don't see me, go to my account. I will post if I'm not coming live. And Wednesday was a surprise because I had an appointment for a knee ablation. I think it was 2:15. They changed it to 9 in the morning and tried to say that's when I booked it. And I was like, you know how I know that's not when I booked it? Because I go live. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It is already blocked off on my calendar. There's no way I would have booked it at that time. So if you ever come on and you don't see me, go look there. I try to give people enough time so they can turn off alarms or whatever and sleep in. But, right, they act like we don't know. I put it in my calendar. I'm not somebody, they don't even give me a card. I don't need it. I put it in my calendar immediately. And I make sure that it's never interrupting Monday, Wednesday, and Friday unless it can't be helped. And I booked that over a month ago. I picked the time. Yeah, that used to be my excuse. I didn't want to go early. Okay. Yes. Always go to my account if you don't see me. Now, give me 5 minutes. Because between 6:30 and 6:35, I might be making coffee, dealing with the cats or whatever. Give me 5 minutes. But go to my account. If I'm not coming live, you'll know. Yes. Or message Ahmad. Thank you, Erica. So Carla had come on, and I didn't catch her immediately. She had been on for some time. But when I went in, she was saying that she hasn't been on for the last couple of days because she said, I take advantage when God provides for the day. I just rest. That's why I haven't been on live. Now that sounds like a perfectly good statement, right? But let's break it down. She also said that God, based on all of her rejection, that God is telling her that her career is social media. So if your career is social media, what do you mean you took time off? You're supposed to be hustling because you want social media to pay for your life. Like you want social media to be your job. And when you're just starting out, you have to hustle. No matter, especially self-employment. I tell people all the time, everybody says they want to work for themselves until they understand, because they don't want a boss, right? Well, in order for you to get paid, you have to have a client. No matter what the industry is, including social media. You don't get paid because you've clocked in when you work for yourself. There are days where you're looking for customers and you come home empty-handed. If you're a contractor, you might get paid half up front, but you got to finish the job to get the other half, which means you are working days that you're technically not paid for in terms of getting money that day. So if social media is your career that God is pushing you towards, what do you mean? Oh, when God provides, I rest. You know what that says to me? When y'all give me money, I'm not coming on here. I'm only going to come on here when I need money. That's not making social media your career, boo. That tells me you are only here and only talking about God when you need something. Right, Tanya? You don't get to be a content creator and just do it when you need something. When you need God to provide. Jesus was a trained carpenter. Even though his parents knew that he was here for a greater purpose, before he knew he was here for a greater purpose, they still trained him. And when he did leave to go on his spiritual journey to turn everybody into a Christian, he prayed to God and God provided. When they only had a few fish and a little bit of, a loaf of bread, he prayed to God and God made it stretch. But he continued on the journey. He went so hard that they had to beg him to rest. And what he was doing in the name of God. Now, I'm only doing this not because I'm trying to convince you guys, but I'm going to condemn you by your own words. I'm lagging. Am I lagging for anybody else? Okay. Scroll out and scroll back in. By the way, TikTok is going to have new rules coming out September the 15th, I believe. We'll be checking them very closely, because who knows what it's going to mean. And so I am in her comments, not questioning her, because to me that's not necessary. Anybody with any sort of spiritual discernment can read right through her. But I was telling everybody in the comments that Jesus said that people would say, I called out to you, good morning, Candy. And I will say, I never knew you. That there would be false prophets in his name. And people were like, you're right. And then guess what? She was ready to go. She was ready to go. I guess God had provided for that day. So she didn't need to be there. She said she's going to go get some rest. She needs to go to eat. But she doesn't really want what she has. Good morning, all for one. Hint, hint. She doesn't want what she has. That she's craving real food, even though she has real food. Then she says, I was misguided by religion, but I'm just still trying to learn. Why are you acting like you have a degree in divinity, that you know the Bible front to back, if you're still learning? Now, it's okay to still be learning. I'm still learning. I'm still on the spiritual journey. I learn something every time I open the Word. I know that there are people who could bring me, like, they could talk to me on a level I didn't know. Stop acting like you're enlightened and that this is the path God has put you on, when all you're doing is using it to get money. That offends me. Just like people pretending to be in the military offends us, that offends me. Because you are only using it to get money, which is why you have so many followers but can't get above 25 people in your chat. Because people who had discernment realized, wait a minute. She comes live and talks about God when she needs money. Aces, I try to tell people, it will make you feel better, but while it is happening and soon thereafter, because first of all, when it goes in, they actually have to hit the nerve. There is no amount of pain relief that makes that feel better. And they don't have to do it once. In my knee, they have to do it 3 times. Then they put a cauterizing tool and cauterize the same nerve. Now, the first needle is the pain relief, but you have to go through it to get there. And then even still, you can feel the actual ablation happen. Now, when you get up, you feel better until it wears off. Until it wears off. And I was told by a doctor many years ago, move the knee around because you want to, but don't run a marathon. Rest. Let it take effect. Yes, I had an ablation of my knee on Wednesday. And they hit, I think they say there are 6 nerves to your knee, and they hit 3 of them. Good morning. Good morning to anybody just coming in. I'm feeling better. The knee always feels better. When it no longer works, it will be time for a knee replacement. So, as long as this is working, I'm going to stick with it. Oh, aces. I am sorry. I need to make an announcement. I know a lot of you know that my mister is on TikTok. He's a gamer. Don't send him a message looking for me. Don't send him a message looking for me. If you're looking for me, he doesn't have anything to do with what I do here. They're 2 separate things. If you're looking for me, send a message to my mod. Email me. Okay? Don't send a message to my man. We're not going to start that. No, I'm not. That is crossing a boundary that is too far for me. He's over there doing his thing. Oh, no, that's okay, Joanne. But not looking for me. Don't do that. Yes, I am setting my boundary. If somebody is in, like I had the ablation, I could understand. Or when I was off for that period of time, I could understand. But not because you want to send me a message or you want me to read a message. Don't do that. That's all I'm saying. I forgot I wanted to say that at the gate. Right, Cat Daddy. Like, don't do it. So I've set the boundary. Do it again, and you're blocked. It's one thing to ask how I'm doing. It's something else to try to use him as your stool pigeon. We're not doing that. Oh, he does? Oh, that's sweet. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, some people don't know boundaries. But I'm setting them so that everybody is clear. I'm not calling anybody out in particular. He should. He absolutely should. There was a young kid who was playing and he wanted to be a gamer, and for a year the only person that watched him was his dad. And now he has hundreds of thousands of followers. Just stick with it. Do what you like and the people will come. You just have to be patient and consistent. Common sense isn't so common. So as I brought truth to Carla's chat, she wanted to go. And the very last comment in her chat was, beware of false prophets. I love it when it works. Thank you, Loving Life. I do too. Yes, she wraps herself in the cloak of God and then begs for money. She sits in the lobbies of hotels and cries, hoping that either TikTok or someone who passes her will take care of her. She's a Mark Russell. She runs around the country saying that God is leading her there. Claims she can't get a job. Correct, Marion. God, religion, kids, pets, whatever it is. A sick wife. And so she ended it by saying, this Winnie the Pooh is tired. Girl, bye. Go sit down somewhere. Stop using God. Because as long as you do, I'm going to be watching and I am going to raise the red flag and say, y'all watch out for her. Understand. And this is one of the reasons why I do 6 to 8 to 9 people. Because I want you guys to recognize the pattern. So when you come across someone else and you think, oh, they're talking about God, they're being uplifting, let me sit in here for a minute, that you apply your discernment. Yes, Mrs. Vandy. Right. Tired from what? If content creation is going to be your career, then you need to make it a career. And that goes out to Josh and Ida as well. By the way, have they gotten their money to move after I Am Brittany clocked their tea? That the house they're in is their mama's house? If y'all didn't see that, I Am Brittany did a fantastic live. I think it was Tuesday night. The last time that house was sold was what, in 2024? 2020 something. It's not even on the market. So there's speculation that they were being evicted, but they're moving into a bigger place with the mom. So I personally think they just want to move up. They just want a bigger place. They want to move the mom in so that they can take care of her within the home so that they can be the content creators they want to be while getting paid. Which, by the way, they're both already part-time. Now that she's living with them, they will have to do even less. And when mom rents out the home that they're in, they'll have even more money. And I think they think that with that income, the mom's income from her Social Security, and then them both getting paid to take care of her, guess what? They can be content creators and they don't have to ask people for money. But don't get it twisted. If they needed money, they would come here and ask for it. So they want you to pay for them to move. I was raised like that too, Reg. Work hard and then you can be proud. They're proud of being able to get suckers to give them money. That's what they're proud of. They're like, we got them again. So just a little research on her part, and she was able to figure out that the house was owned by Josh's mother, who they are paid to take care of, and that the house wasn't sold. But they figure that if they can afford a bigger place if they put all of those resources together. And then they get to sit in our face and try to be like, see, we told you social media was going to be able to pay for us. We haven't had to come on here and beg. No, because you are playing the system. Yes, chill. They expected when the truth came out that they would already be moved on and gotten what they wanted. That's what they expected. That's what they expected. Surprised? Yes. Shocked? Absolutely not. Yes, she has to report that income. But if her Social Security is based on her working, then the rent wouldn't affect her Social Security. Marion, listen. They're hoping that what they've put together will cover them through that, because they already know stuff is coming. Let's move on. Dang, I only got an hour. I have to put this disclaimer. If you're going to be a satire page, make it clear. Make it clear. Make it clear. Because Tim is using any and everything to talk about us. Did y'all like how when he came on Monday after my live that he was very calm and very careful? I like how now we get to see her face. Because of course, how ungrateful that people are sending money so you can be comfortable, so that your health isn't negatively impacted, but you can't even come on and say hello and thank people. A customer was about to fight him the other day. Well, Let's see if we have the job. He can't blame that on us. Yeah, Guardians of Valor. By the way, there is more information coming from the Guardians of Valor. Be on the lookout. Because the governor said he wasn't stopping until he made those women whole. He's not. Yes. He also said, when is it? How many more days does he have? 3? He has 3 more days? I want to say this. There is a funny side to what we do. But the more important side is the serious one. And I say that because if we make a joke out of everything, then when we do say something serious, people are going to think it's funny. It's just a joke. Y'all are going to have to wait for what Guardian did. But if you go on my page, you'll see the letters that he wrote to Tim demanding the money. You'll see the letter that he wrote to the hotel letting them know that he was scamming people using the hotel's Wi-Fi. Right, Victoria, I agree. And you will see the most current final demand letter that he sent. And there's more in the works. And so he was making a valid point. How does saying that he cheated on his wife stop people from giving him money? Well, I think that is for us and not for other people. Yes, your $5 letters. Thank you, Guardians of Valor. I thank you for your service and all that you do for this community. And then he was so incensed that he was like, once I end this live, I'm not coming back. That's because you're going to hit people on... He did not... I don't believe he cheated on his wife. Does he cozy up to women in a way that's inappropriate? Yes. But if she ain't mad about it, why would I be? Then they started going back and forth about her joining another MLM. Let me tell you something. They want her to join an MLM because then she could say she has a job, whether she makes money or not. Again, how are you going to make money on the MLM when he's at work with the car and you don't want to get on social media and show your face? Where are you going to sell it? We are in the internet age. Yeah. Go see Fallon's video on that. Now, see, that's evidence. That's evidence enough for us to question. Not you just getting up saying that he's cheating on his wife. It's not the same thing. Now, people were trying to say she could do it for $20, and he was like, no, it's $90. So this is the thing. What the $90 allows you to do is a one-time payment, and then any jewelry you want to buy, you can buy it and then sell it at a higher price. Now, she claims she was one of the top sellers. Back in the day, ma'am, you don't like your face on social media. So, how are you going to do it now? And so, I am of the opinion that you do the $20 version. Let me just tell you something, Hartley. I had never even heard of paparazzi before the two of them. Granny Annie, but she don't have nothing to offer either. Where's she going? And there was a time when he did take care of her while she sat home and joined one MLM after another. I had never heard of paparazzi until it was a thing with them. That's what she used to do. Oh, really, Kelly? Yeah, but again, that's self-employment. You have to bust your butt to make money. She sells, she doesn't sign up people. And that is really what an MLM wants. You technically are successful when you have a downline. So that you don't actually have to sell. You get people to sell for you, and that's your paycheck. She also works a full-time job. Wait, what did you say? Yes, it's a jewelry line. I'm sorry for anybody that didn't understand. It's a multi-level marketing scheme. PD, can you advise Chad that Dyer County Court clerk has been contacted and process has started? Okay, yes. So he has contacted the court. I have that letter. And we are waiting for a response. And when we have the response, I will publish it. So be on the lookout for it. It used to be $5 and now it's $8. Is that what Gigi Wink sells? Is that paparazzi? But to me, if I don't have money, I'm going to do the $20 deal, buy a few pieces, and see if I can sell them. Now, let's be honest. We know who they're going to sell them to, the audience. Listen, and that's something else. When she did it before, Amazon might not have existed. Temu might not have existed. Shein didn't exist. So, just because you were successful before doesn't mean you will automatically be successful again. And it is hard work. When I sold insurance, I was getting up 3 days a week. 2 days a week I was making phone calls for appointments for the other 3 days. And some days I spent 8 hours in other people's homes and they didn't buy a single thing. It was a full-time job with less than a part-time at the beginning. And then at some point I realized I'm not a salesman. Because I'm like, this is the product. Do you want it or no? No? Okay, thank you. And I would leave. Like, I'm not like, oh, and think about your children. And I'm out. And the other thing they did was they pigeonholed me in black neighborhoods. So they would send me to the hood where people are on food stamps and Section 8 and they're barely making it. Who's buying insurance from me? And I also, when I already know that you are like just making it, I'm going to make you have another bill. Like it's not in me. It's not in me. Steve Crick is laying somewhere comfortable, not thinking about me. So then he actually got his check on Wednesday. Good for him. Yeah, I should too. Timo, Timo and Shein. Let me tell you something. If it's not right, I don't care because of just how cheap it was. But a lot of the stuff I've gotten has been right on time. I told y'all. That's where I get my nails from because I don't keep them on for long. And I would hate to spend $100 and lose one. Something comes off and I happen to lose it. And the ones I have on right now, they've been on a week. I've only had one come off. And it was the thumb. Because I'm always using my thumb for something. Listen. And they're sturdy. I haven't had a single problem. Except for the thumb coming off. So he literally got his paycheck and on the day was still begging. Marinan, I get it. I don't do very, very long ones. The ones I have on now are actually pretty short. But I do go longer than this sometimes. You are begging on the day you got your check. That's just wild to me. Good morning to everybody coming in. And they're blaming awareness because someone was apparently going to give them their points so they could stay in a hotel for a week. And someone here convinced them not to do it. Why is it always our fault? And furthermore, the day before you were saying that what we do wouldn't stop people from giving you money. But now today what we did prevented you from getting money? Right, damn that awareness. Oh, we can only transfer points if the other person is a member. Oh, isn't that interesting? They're in a hotel somewhere enjoying life. And I'm going to say this. I say it every time. Every time you say it's awareness, I want proof. You say we need proof of the things you do, even though I listen to what you say and I can debunk it easily. Show proof. I want that person to say, this is the person who sent me the message that stopped it. I want to see the person say to you, someone talked to me about you, and now I'm not going to do it. Yeah, he's been looking for an Airbnb. Because they have him convinced that it would be cheaper in the long run. Right. It's always somebody did something, but you don't never show any proof. And then when people are like, show the proof, I don't have to. Oh, okay. It's just easier to say it's awareness because he has gotten so much money by saying that awareness has come for him. So much money. Right, but we're all blocked. When can we go in and defend ourselves or say, well, no, this is what I did? He always talks about how nobody will confront him, but we're all blocked. Open your account. Stop going private. Unblock us. You know who the people are that you want to confront you. Unblock us. I know you're not going to unblock me because you know that you couldn't. I would talk you under the ground before you could finish your first sentence. And I would do it in a respectful way. And that doesn't work for you. Doesn't work for you. Okay, I'm sorry. I got lost in a message. So now, they're somewhere. Somebody sent me some of their old live clips. And when Tim and Angela got their car, and she said they were looking at a house, she was literally like, ha 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 ha, we bought a car and now we're going to look at a house. Boy, did that one not last. Did that one not hit? Wait, is that why you don't want to show your face because you're embarrassed? Boss lady, I honestly don't know. Yeah, we're still waiting for that house. Right, karma, exactly. Airbnb has a website for owners to list bad renters, blacklisted. I'll add their name. Right. She must have been feeling good about herself that day. Let me just explain, and I say this all the time. I don't want to see anybody homeless, hungry, afraid, in a DV situation. None of that. None of it. But what I want them to do is to do what they need to do to get out of the situation and stop expecting people to pay for them. You notice how Tim never revealed that the job would only be part-time? I wonder why. I'm trying to get all of the hours I can get. But you want us to worry about you being able to spend time with your wife. Like, could people just hurry up and give you the money so you could get off of here and spend time with your wife? Timothy, if you are as big and as bad as you claim to be, make it work. Figure it out. Angela could work. She worked at McDonald's, that being her first job in her entire life. I'm sorry, what did she say? Her first real job, her entire life. But what I will say, and what he would have to admit, is that it's getting harder and harder. Now, what's funny is we didn't create the rule that you could only stay there for 28 days. That wasn't our doing. We didn't tell the hotel, the only other hotel that lets pets that's cheaper, have no room for you. And I am certainly not calling around to every hotel to find out where you are. But what I do find interesting is that you let everybody know you were staying at the Motel 6. Why would you do that? Because that's where you're going to go back to, right? Or do you expect people to put you in a hotel? Yes, Ashley, a lot of properties do that because then they can claim that that's where they live, and the hotel has to go through eviction to get them out. And then the whole time that they're going for the eviction, they don't pay. Now, there are extended stay hotels, but they have very strict rules. Right, promising. And if the Motel 6 is $90, where were you staying before? That was only $60. Timothy, you should have stayed there a week and said, baby, I am going to do everything I can so that we don't have to stay here. The Motel 6 is 90? Okay. My problem isn't that they're staying in a hotel. My problem isn't that they fell on hard times. But they have been in their whole time, in their low moment for far too long. They leave the light. That was a good one. I'm not going to forget that one. Right. I'm not expecting, listen, when I got Bree was trying to actually make changes, I told y'all, she doesn't even have a job yet. How do you expect her not to ask for money? I said the same thing about Tim and Angela. Okay, he's got the job. We got to wait for the paycheck. But on the day you get the paycheck, you're begging? Like, are you serious? But y'all are fighting because you don't want her to work for paparazzi until you get the $90. Sir, you have more critical things to spend that $90 on than paparazzi. But this is what I think. Let's ask them for the $90 so you could go do paparazzi. We can register the car, pay our cell phone bills, at least part of it, and then we'll do the $20 paparazzi. Okay, Marion. I'll be in the comments. Right. If the room is $75, by the time you pay all of the fees, it's probably, I did it. I looked up just with Tennessee taxes, it would be $82. And then if they have any other fees, which most hotels do, I could see it being between 85 and 87. So asking for $90 isn't unreasonable. There might be a pet fee. So when people are like, the room was only 75 and he's asking for 90, the room is 75. But the bill at the end is probably closer to 90 than 75. Like, again, let's be intellectually honest. If we're going to do it, let's be honest about it. Wow, Ashley. That's a lot. But you can't rent an apartment and not pay a pet fee. There's some HOAs that will add a pet fee. And they love HOAs here in Florida, child. Everywhere you go. If you pay cash, you have to pay $100. Yeah. Because they don't have a credit card to attach to. So they magically found a place to stay for the 2 days that they had to leave the Motel 6. And I'm only saying it because he said it. I'm not doxing him. He said that's where they were staying. And then he's going to claim that people are calling and they can't stay there, so they need a $100 room. Or they need the Airbnb because it's private and nobody can find them, etc., etc. And by being in an Airbnb, they get the refrigerator, the stove. They get to act like they've moved into their own place. Right, exactly, Sangria. We're safe. Right, All For One. He's been dropping hints about where he works so much that without looking, I've narrowed it down. He wants those Hilton points because it's going to be for at least 5 days. Is there anyone in this community that's from or resident of the state of Tennessee? Right, we're stalking him. Shell, because they don't have a moral compass. There are a lot of people in this world that are like, if I have to steal from other people so that we're comfortable, I'm okay with that. Guardian, did you see that? Boss lady. Anybody in Tennessee, please email Guardians of Valor. Oh, he did, Nikki? I missed it. That's crazy. I almost said I'm telepathically there. Hilarious. That's all I have to say on that. Good morning, guys. I'm sure you're here. Okay. Ruru, send a message to Guardians of Valor. Look at all of y'all from Tennessee. Shout out to Tennessee and the Titans. That's all I know. Rosie, but they're just like Mark Russell. There's no resources here. Right, Melissa. It's amazing how when they're comfortable and they don't need nothing, they don't just come in and talk. But he claims that that's what he does all the time. No, you will talk for 30, 45 minutes and then be like, well, you know, guys, I hate to be on here and doing this, but, you know, we're going to need the room for tomorrow or the next day. Okay. Let's introduce you guys to these two, Precious and Lindsay. They've been living in the hotel for a very long time. Well, in my opinion, it's a long time. They said that there was a fire in their apartment. The landlord gave them $5,000. Yes, everybody please tap, 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 tap. Feel your heart's tail and then take a break. And that they ended up spending the money. $5,000 is enough for first, last, and security. In a lot of places. Not everywhere. But you decided to leave that town and go to another one. I don't know if it's where they're from, where one of them is from. I don't know. And move into a hotel. One of them got a job as a server. And so she brought home money every day. And that's how they were able to afford their life. The one on the right says she had cancer and she survived. If that is the truth, of course, all for one. Of course. Because they want cash. If she did have cancer and she survived, congratulations. Right, Marion, but on a, well, they probably could still get rugs on a cruise ship. But if you watch them, they give me Lori vibes. They give me Lisa times 2 vibes. They are frantic. They don't know, like the one on the right, say a couple of words, give the phone to the other one, and then take the phone back. Guys, you know, I'm the man in the relationship, and I need to provide for my family, and closed mouths don't get fed. I'm gonna go look for a job. Here's the phone. And she come right back and take the phone. Guys, really, we just need a little help. She got fired yesterday, and they don't get a paycheck. They only earn $2.18 an hour. They still have to get the $2.18 an hour from the job. But my question is, why are you only going to look for a job because she got fired? Right, Tooth Fairy. Their franticness is very suspicious. They went through $5,000 really fast. And I'm not sure if you noticed, but they have multiple prices for the room. One person said $2,500, another said $3,000 a month. Now, had you taken the $5,000, gotten an apartment, you wouldn't be paying that hotel fee. But that's even the truth. She talks about the reason why she looks the way she does is because she had cancer. It is also the look of someone who's dabbling in street pharmaceuticals. So I encourage you guys to go watch and see for yourself. I always tell you, please don't take my word for it. Yes, they have a pug, which I used to have a pug. Her name was Pugsley. She got hit by a car. I couldn't go to work for 2 days. But they're just like Tim and Angela. We have a dog and it can't be in the car, please. And they're getting money. They are getting money. And unfortunately, it is coming from their community. More like swimming. Listen. Miss Lala Loopsy Daisy. Somebody pin that. She's having an awareness live tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Everybody, let's go support Miss Lala Loopsy Daisy. If you can. Tomorrow, let me write that down because I will forget between now and 7 p.m. Y'all know I got to use the nosy girl in the corner. Oh, you know what? That reminds me. Let me put this back up. Because there's a lot more people here. We're doing our Digital After Dark August the 30th. That's Saturday night at 8 p.m. And we're going to focus that on romance scammers. Okay? Come support it anyway. Even though there might be some other awareness that happens that night. But that is going to be the main focus. Eastern Standard Time. Oh yeah, Lala Loopsy. What time zone are you in? Is it 7 p.m. Eastern? Okay, yep, 7 p.m. Eastern. Faith for Security. Is that just regular Faith? You're going live tonight at 7 p.m. Someone pin that. All for One is going live at 7 p.m. tonight. You have a lot to put out? Perfect. So anyway, go watch these two. That's why I always put their name and their @ so you can go check it out for yourself. You don't have to believe me. Okay. Let's get to the final two. Let's do her first. So we all know that if you were watching, she made, after having Lauren buy her a tent, a bed, a fan, made her comfortable in that tent, she suddenly decided to leave. And she had to take a bus, a train, and an automobile to get to where she was going. And she claimed she was leaving for her safety, that she had to get out of Peoria, even though she lied and said she wasn't in Peoria when she was at the Peoria library with her DV abuser when she told her audience he was nowhere around. Why are you lying? And then you're getting mad that you got caught lying. Now, you know how they say that we wish on their downfall? Well, she got caught wishing on, yes, everybody liked the live until you feel the heart stale and then take a break. We know that she wishes on the downfall of her cousin by marriage because she called the cops on her for stalking and harassment. The cops said they were going to, speak to her, whatever. The next morning, someone told her that her cousin spent the night in jail because of it. And she could not hide her glee. She could not hide the fact that she was happy that it happened. And she was like, I almost want to cry, but there are too many people around for me to cry. Mind you, it was a lie. It was a lie to see her reaction. And when she found out it wasn't true, where's all the glee and the joy? Where's the happiness that you thought that your cousin spent the night in jail? But we want your downfall. We want to see you not survive. No, you don't want to see yourself survive. And I'm sorry, I am judging her for vaping while she's supposed to be, 8 weeks pregnant? I'm judging you. And let's not forget that on multiple times she has said that she's not thinking about the baby right now. That's not her top priority. I guess it wouldn't be after having 6 and not having access to any of them. I I know that. I'm just waiting for the announcement of the miscarriage. Listen, there is so much about her that is a lie. And I don't understand why her supporters, I know why, they want to be willfully ignorant. They want to be willfully ignorant. Because if they spent 5 minutes thinking about it, they would know better. But they don't want to. Yes, 6 kids. And if I was Lauren, I would have been like, you better pack up that tent and everything I bought and take it with you. What you mean I spent all that money and you left it for the homeless? What if you become homeless again? What if where you are doesn't work out? I gotta buy it all again? Again? So she is leaving to go to a place that they had to give her a hotel room for, and of course she had an intake at 11:30 in the morning, and because she was hunting down her subs, she missed the intake. Could they maybe help you with that? No, she was more concerned about having her subs, so she missed the intake, and they had to pay for her to have another night at the hotel. Right, Granny Annie. They are walking miracles. You are exactly right. So, she's another one that claims to be keeping her privacy while exposing herself all along the way. So do y'all remember when she made a big deal about that swan on the bed? Well, as we know, people in this community are better than the FBI and the CIA put together. Who is Doug? I'm sorry. I don't know the joke. I'm not in on it. The swan. Well, people found out where she was. Literally exactly the hotel she was in. Oh, Doug the Swan. And guess where she happens to be? She happens to be in Caden's hometown. What? You need to be safe, but you went to his hometown. Did y'all know that that's what you was paying for when you sent her the money? Correct. He went home to his mama, and you know his mama is probably going to be like, what are you doing with that old lady? Yeah, an anonymous donor. She's like, and it wasn't Lauren. I don't care who it was. Did you know that you were paying for her to be in Caden's hometown? And then she's like, ha ha ha, that's what they think. I sent them in the wrong direction. Girl, we have the hotel. We even have the room number you're in. You're not fooling anybody. You're just trying to do that because you got fooled the other day. Correct, show. And they have literally buried their heads in the sand. Let me tell you something. You want to know something about Christine? Go to Scammer Alert 81. And by the way, she unblocked everybody. Everybody. Friend and foe. Because she was like, now that she's out of town, I can just stream her. And I can talk about what we know. Oh, I'm sorry, Moon Dance. She said she unblocked everybody. She clocked Christine's tea on a regular basis. I didn't see her anymore. She claimed she had to go another 2 hours away. So why would you stop there, Christina? If you have another 2 hours away to go. You know you didn't. And I think that's why she didn't come on, because she was trying to pretend like she was traveling. No, you didn't. Because why would you say you had an appointment at 11:30 a.m. and skip the appointment to get your subs? Why would you try to get them in that town if you weren't going to stay there? Y'all don't have any curiosity about why everything ends up being suspicious? That's why it's willful ignorance. They want to not know. Because I don't even know everything, and I know that she's on some BS. Well, you should game, Aces. If that's what you love, you should do it. Do what you love. It's releasing. Mr. told me I love this more than I love him. I was like, Sir, be for real. He was like, I hear the passion. I know you love it more than me. It's been releasing, not relaxing, not the streamer. Yeah, she's stressful. Yes, she does have a new account on Favorited. We know that too. She ain't hiding nothing from nobody. I want to see what happens. I would love for them to just say no. Just say no. And see what happens. But y'all want to keep taking care of a grown-ass woman who has made one piss-poor decision after another, which is why she is where she is. She wants to keep going and being with her own abuser. Let her have at it then. Let her do what she wants to do. Because you guys are funding her to her own detriment. If y'all didn't fund her, she'd still be in Peoria. She's so afraid of Caden, but every time I turn around, she is either with him, doing something to get near him, or making sure they stay linked. I wouldn't doubt it if she told him she was pregnant so that he would feel obligated to stick around. Because he don't know nothing about a tubal ligation. She'll come back if she can get Caden to come back. Oh no, he knocks her head between the wall and the washer. No question about that. She just said she doesn't care. That her love for him surpasses that. So let her have it. She went to a hotel. Who knows? She loves to walk around Walmart, though, in a very suspicious way. It's weird. I hope they do come over here and listen because I'm talking about her. Window watch, but learn something from it. Yes, she was kicked out of the women's shelter because she was putting everybody in the women's shelter at risk. She herself said that it was one that wasn't even in the phone book because they wanted to make sure that they could stay anonymous, and she was with her abuser against the rules. They had to kick her out. She acts like somebody calling on her was the wrong party, instead of her taking accountability for the fact that she was breaking the rules. I love how it's always somebody else's fault. You break the rules and get caught, but it's our fault. How about live by the rules? I know you've been a rule breaker your entire life. How about stepping on the side of right? For once. Good morning. Good morning. For once. Step on the side of right. Do it the right way. But no. Let me tell you something. To be good at being a rug user, you learn how to manipulate people. You learn how to take advantage of every opportunity. So that even when you stop using, you still have those characteristics until you turn them off. Until you decide you're no longer going to live that way. And I'm sorry, there are people on subs who get up and work every day. How come ours always seem to be nodding out? Right, Canna Circus Queen. Y'all have taught me so much that I didn't know. Why are you always nodding out, ma'am? And then she'll take her big, huge sunglasses and put them on. As if we can't still see your eyes closed. Girl, you're not hiding nothing. Now she wants something where when she's walking, she doesn't have to hold the phone. Right, we could have a Netflix series. Netflix, I'm available. Right. She doesn't want the phone to fall while she's nodding. So if she has something that will keep it in place, she doesn't have to worry about that giving her away. Correct, Splash. It's not just the subs. Bubbles, I'm not gonna say. Correct, Aces. But the last I saw, she couldn't get the subs. Has anybody found out? She went to the ER. That's right. She went to the ER to get a prescription. Listen, if she gets in trouble and they start looking at her financial transactions, y'all be ready. Lauren, be ready. Be ready to say, oh, I thought she was using it for something else. Yeah, me neither. But she stayed in Peoria. That helps. That's why her leaving town created such a problem for her. Because they don't play about that. They're not just transferring subs to another city. Absolutely not. In my opinion, she is absolutely still with him. 110%. Thank you guys for the gifts. 110% she's still with him. She spent 4 hours getting him medical and food stamps on her account. Even though at 20 years old, at 18 he could get his own. But she made sure he was on hers. That don't sound like somebody walking away. Y'all don't, the mods, y'all don't realize that? That she is making decisions that keep her linked to him? Y'all don't get it. Y'all don't see it. It's amazing to me. Absolutely amazing. Next. So since people were so offended by the photo I was using of hers, is this one better? Is this one better? Yes, please tap. Because I'm waiting for her savior to show up. I hope this one is better. Well, I know what one was better for us, but I'm asking her savior if this one is better. Yes, her and her 200 friends that don't exist. While you run around begging people to be their mods and arguing with somebody's husband like you were going to make a difference. Ridiculous. Say hi if you're here. We're mutuals. How are you my mutual and trying to take me down at the same time? Amazing. Say hi to the people if you're here. Absolute weirdo. Anyway. I was overjoyed to see that she's struggling with payment apps now. And let me tell you, you don't lose your Vemu CAPP all at once because one person had a problem. Understand that you're being investigated. And by the way, I took my own advice and called the Attorney General's office in the state of Ohio. I told him that she wasn't running an official business and she doesn't technically have to. She can file them on her own taxes, that she was running an illegal raffle on social media, that she was price gouging for items that she wasn't even making herself, that she was using payment apps to avoid her tax obligation, that she was using other people's payment apps that were her supporters. And oh, by the way, she intends to file for Social Security disability while she runs this undercover business. Now, I didn't have a complaint because I didn't send her any money. But if you have sent her money and you feel that the quality of the product you purchased or never received, you can too make a complaint. Well, she applied before and the state said, yes, you have mental health issues, but your limbs are fine. And clearly, if she's running a business, she can work. There doesn't have to be a job available for you. There just has to be something you can do, and you don't get Social Security. So if she can do nails, then she can do something. You know why she can't sell on TikTok Shop? Because she doesn't have a business. I will say this to you, if you are buying a product from anyone, I don't care what the circumstances are, and they're using a payment app, it's Venmo business or it's nothing. I have not heard directly from Noah, but I know she followed me, and I am hoping that she's watching. Or I shouldn't say, I didn't hear from her at the point that I looked. I'm not going to say that I haven't heard from her at all. And do you know, the person who took the report said to me, you might want to also call the Secretary of State for the state of Ohio. Oh, yep, that was White Sox. He was saying hello. He's behaving today. I'm surprised. Well, the door is open, so I'm not surprised. He gets to go out on his patio and enjoy. So as long as he has freedom of movement, because he's an American citizen, he's okay. And Kira is up on top of the bookshelf asleep, so there's no chasing her. So we are having a good morning. Oh, he does, Marion? Oh, thank you. White Sox, they sent you gifts, buddy. What we gonna do with it? Well, you just paid for his balls that I bought yesterday from Amazon. So thank you. They helped pay for your balls. They have a ton of balls, a ton of things, and they fight over one fluffy ball. So yesterday I went on ahead and bought them 60. They're still going to fight over one ball, I promise. But I bought 60. Buy more treats. We'll see. They need the balls. He needs some exercise. My cats would rather play with the box. Yeah, oh yes. Do you know how long I keep boxes in this house? They jump in and out. In and out. The toy that I bought, they'll play with for 30 seconds. But the box, and then after a while, they don't even want the box no more. Like, once they get accustomed to the box being here, it's like, okay, it's part of the furniture. I'm not going to pay attention. What was so interesting to me about the live where she was crashing out that Venmo took her $300, she was saying things like they stole it. And then people in the comments are like, somebody stole your money. They didn't steal it. They're investigating you. They're investigating you, ma'am. And then you were dumb enough to put your mother's CA up there? Do you know how quickly we reported that? And let me tell you, if you go to send somebody money and you get a fraud alert, or the app sends you your money back, why don't you keep it? You can buy nails from other people. And me and mama are going to be living in our car. Well, maybe you should get a job and stop taking advantage of people. I said in JSA's live the other night, there's a video floating around. My sister was here on Tuesday, and I was watching. Like, just because somebody's here doesn't mean I'm not watching. And we're watching, and I show her some videos. Well, there's a newer video out of a woman, and it's just her standing there with a package of nails. And she's like, it seems like you and I have similar taste in nails. And then she kind of like looks at the packaging and she's like, and clearly we buy from the same person, right? Honest, hand on the Bible. We went back to her live, and she was showing nails with the exact same packaging, covered in plastic, just like the other lady. My sister was flabbergasted. And I'm like, you see how quickly it is to show that they're liars? And yet she has people convinced that she does all the work, that she spends all this time. Some days she'll have 3 sets of nails, and the next day she has 8. Do you really think she had time to do 8 sets of nails? I hope they do, especially for the price she's charging. And you could tell how desperate she is, because it's 2 for $80 now. It's 2 for $80 now. What's also funny is that how come she isn't showing the nails as much? You're there to sell your nails, and it takes forever for you to show them. You are in a live selling nails, and you're in your phone. Mind you, she doesn't type her text messages. She does talk to text. And this is her. While people are in the comments like, can we see the nails? Can we see the nails? She's like, I'm not doing good. Venmo took my $300, and now me and Mama are going to be in the car, and I don't know what I'm going to do. Anything you could do to help? Girl, you don't know how to beg outside. You could have at least muted the phone. You are literally begging people behind the scenes while also trying to sell nails. And let me just fill you in on something. One of those people sent her money because she got off. Let me re-rate. She said she buys them but puts her touch on them. I was told. Not today, Alicia. There are so many people covering Gabby that it feels redundant. One set now is acrylic, and all the rest are builder gel, because someone told her builder gel was better. Yeah, I talked about Faith the other day. Faith apparently is doing some big live on the 22nd, and then she's no longer going to speak about what's happened. Of course you're not. Everybody always wants to say, well, it's already happened. Everybody needs to let it go. This is my problem with letting it go. She wants to act like it never happened so she can do it again. That's the only thing Faith wants. Faith wants people to stop talking about it so she can do it again. Well, if you weren't around, I showed you guys that in the state of Ohio, her raffle, her waffle, her wheel raffle is against the law. And so I called the state attorney general's office. I have a case number. I'll be following up. In fact, I'm waiting for an email from them. She gets the nails from wherever. She probably tries to find some obscure company. If anybody was in Gigi Wink's live the other day, while she was trying to sell her nails and compare them to Carrie because she only charges $10, she tried the same thing. I do them myself. So I asked her, does she do wide nail beds? She ignored me. I said, do you have anything that's 18 millimeters? She blocked me because she said nobody has nail beds that wide. Bitch, what? So I went under another account. Why did you block me? My thumb is 18 millimeters at a minimum. It's really 20. But I can get away with 18. So she goes and gets a tape measure, shows 2 meters, and it's like, there's no way. I said millimeters. And then I was like, that is what I get when I get from Temu or Shein. I look for 18 millimeters. When I'm on TikTok shop, I look for 18 millimeters as the minimum for the thumb. Which is why I'm so caught on when Carrie says that when you need to do it to your nail bed size, it's a custom order. It shouldn't be. Well, again, then Gigi Winks realizes that she's talking in meters and not millimeters. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I feel like an idiot now. Because she even actually had a nerve to say to me that in China it might be 18 millimeters, but in American it's 7. The fuck you mean? 18 millimeters is 18 millimeters everywhere. What do you mean? In American it's a 7. And then she showed a 7 and I was like, that's like my 4th finger. 18 millimeters in China is 7. And she didn't even say in America, in American. No, Gigi Wink. But she's trying to promote her nails on Carrie and saying, look at the nails Carrie selling for $100. I sell mine for 10. Girl, you look like you got yours from Temu too. Stop it. Stop it. A scammer is a scammer. And she figured out that if Carrie can sell them for 100, I could get 10. Anyway, she is a pathological liar. But do you see how quick she was to block me because she didn't understand what I was saying? So loud and so wrong because you're so dumb. Really, Peyton? She deleted the begging ones? Terry, why are you trying to hide what you've done? Do you think that people don't have video evidence, documentary evidence? All the state attorney general has to do is come to TikTok. Do y'all remember the video of the girl that spent $50 for those yellow nails? Let me tell you something. Even though they were bendable, which was a clue, even though they looked spray painted on, which was a clue, let me tell you the clue that I caught on to. When she turned the nails over, when you do the nails yourself, you don't usually paint the underside the same color. Or if it's paint, it doesn't look like a machine spray painted the color on. Everybody else was focused on what it looked like, how she could bend it. I paid attention to the underside. She brought them nails somewhere and sold them for $50. Without question. And so the nails you get might be nice. They smelled so bad I had to throw them away. Wow. There was someone else who said that they were allergic to smoke. Oh, were you the one who said you were allergic to smoke? And you told her that and they still smelled like smoke and other things? Oh no, yours smelled like chemicals. Because she probably dipped them in something, did a little paint on them so that you could recognize that something had been done. Chemicals and smoke. What kind of business is that? Where your nails smell. They could look as nice as they want. I don't want to start the night smelling like I've been standing outside the club before I get in the club. I don't want to smell like outside before I go outside. Because most places you can't smoke inside anymore. So everybody who smokes has to go outside. I want to smell like inside before I go outside. Let me tell you something, princess. My nails come from China. They don't smell like anything. They don't smell like anything. I showed y'all my nails. Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can do this real quick. Do you see that? These are from Temu. Or Shein, rather. They don't smell like nothing. Where's Carrie? Probably less than $3. I do have wide nails. That's why I always ask. $2, maybe. $2. That's true. And you want me to spend $100 for something that I know came from somebody else? Let me tell you something, and I'm going to say it again. Any and everybody who loses every single one of their payment apps all at once, there's an investigation going on. Lady, that has happened to so many people. And then she's like, that was the shipping money. And so she's telling everybody who bought nails recently, you're not getting them. And if you want them, you're going to have to resend the shipping. Yes, people have compared them to Amazon. And then what did she try to say? She said, oh, it's because I got inspired. Really, Teresa? Well, I do believe that. I absolutely believe that that could be true. But she showed her Venmo. And it is wiped clean. The day after she got caught shipping nails from 3 weeks ago, she loses 300. Facts. Listen, do not say that you didn't get your nails. She's going to block you. She blocked a girl that sent 5 because she was demanding her to pay 15 more. Wow. If after everything that people have said about Carrie on this, why do you think she creates new accounts? It's not to have a backup. It is because she knows that Carrie Wells has a bad reputation. Really? She said, keep the $5 and go ahead and block me. That's right. Correct, Jessica. You are my kind of thinker. She always has material, but doesn't have money to eat. I used to say that about Tim and Angela. Why don't they ever ask for gas money, food for the dog, pay for the car insurance? And then what did they do? He turned right around and asked for it all. Oh, except you don't need food for the dog. Where you getting money to feed the dog? I mean, it's still an expense. When the last time the dog been to the vet? Somebody make it make sense to me. I don't understand why people don't make the connection. Well, that's true. When people are at an elevated state of desperation, there is an addiction of some sort. Marion, I wouldn't doubt it. I also find it interesting that Rose isn't letting her use her CA anymore. If you always had access to your mother's CA, why were you using Rose's? No, I've never covered Jasmine. Do you have her app? I might have seen her before, but... Aha! Really? Thank you, Blue Jay, for that. Oh, Jordan Paul is live. We must need the hotel room. Marion said, I got the t-shirt. Listen. I'm just glad you got to the other side. She needs it before 11. Checkout time. I wonder why she's not at work. TV is it's TikTok is TV. It's like the rumor tabloids that are at the counter at the grocery store, at least used to be. I don't even go in a grocery store no more. It's getting delivered. What? Or Mister is going. It's better than watching court TV. It has everything. It has comedy, drama, westerns with all of these men with their southern drawls, like Nathan, about to beg for some money in the middle of the night with his rack head in the background. I don't see, she's going to find another man, and she wants to find him in the casino so that they can have something in common, so that when she's in there all the time, instead of helping pay bills, she's going to be like, you know where you met me? Oh, Nathan has a wreck head in the background. She be sitting there. She acts just like those who are in active addiction all over the place. Sit down, stand up, get a cigarette, take it out. And he's there. And so, guys, I trust in the Lord. And I believe that you don't kick a person when they're down. You lift them up, and that's what I do. And I make sure that everybody around me is feeling good, even if I'm not feeling good. Nathan, shut up. Yes, Sarah. Yes, congratulations. Hey, 10 years. Amazing. If you have hit the path of recovery, put it in here. I don't care if it's 1 hour. Put it in here. 1 day, put it in here. Because it is amazing when you get to the point where you decide to turn around. Because it is not easy. 10 months, 10 years. Look at 24 years. Wow. She was 7 years clean, 5.5 years. 16. That is amazing. I know it is hard. And life doesn't make it easy. Life doesn't make it easy. So please be proud of yourself. Remind yourself every day that you could make a bad choice and you've chosen not to. Yes, Zodiac. I love that for you. And if you feel like it's not enough time, break it down in seconds. When you get to 1,000,000 seconds, you feel brand new. I did something for 1,000,000 seconds. You can't tell I'm flipping my collar at 1,000,000 seconds. What? Don't get stuck on days, years, months. Break it down into seconds if you have to. Yes, I congratulate everybody. And if you're thinking about it, give it a try. Give it a try. That's right. It really is. Hilarious. She was 7 years clean and she switched it to 10. Again, when it's about being in recovery, you don't have to make up a number. 17 million. Listen, at 17 million seconds, I'm taking myself out to dinner. What? Yes, Naomi, unfortunately it is. Unfortunately, it is. And I am sorry about your mother. You have a clean time app. It tells you years, months, days, when it's like it's awesome, Dawn Duncan. I didn't even know that that happened. I mean, if they had an app like that, I should know. They have an app for everything. They even have a dating app for people who have sexually transmitted diseases. I almost rolled off the bed, down the stairs, and down the street. I was like, really? Oh, I'm sorry. Oops. Wow, I'm so sorry. So you're coming up on an anniversary. Sarah, I've been through that too. I've been through that too. I know, chill. When you see somebody create something, you be like, I should have thought of that. Well, Carrie, we'll be watching to see what you do today. She's now trying to say send it to her Apple Pay, but you have to message her. Do you think that there isn't somebody in this community that will message you just to get it? Y'all are nuts. You can't keep anything from us unless you get off the app. And I mean all of them, because we're everywhere. Yeah, any addiction is hard. And TikTok can be an addiction as well. Begging on TikTok can be an addiction. I think that's where Maggie is now. She finds events to go to so she can beg for the money. Like, why does she have to have an event to go to every single week? Well, I realize, I know, and she wants a VIP pass too. I have pushed you guys way past 9:30. I've never seen anyone tell their followers, you're going to give me that money. Listen, Maggie is a new one. Like, Maggie is in a category by herself at this point. The only person close to her, in my opinion, is Detroit Nike. And there's no way that man is still homeless. He says for the room and then never shows the room. You don't mind the cigarettes at this point? Listen. Everybody has to hit their bottom line. Well, as I always say, I appreciate you guys taking your time this morning to be with me. I'm sorry. On Monday, I'm only going to cover a few people so that I can finally let you guys sound off. I do so much talking that you guys don't get to sign off. Thank you, Naomi. You'll talk? Perfect. I appreciate you guys. Yep, that's White Sox. Why are you here right now, buddy? Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for taking your time with me. Please hug your loved ones because tomorrow is not promised. Thank you. Please spend some time today doing your self-care, whether it's 15 minutes or one. All of it is important. You cannot be there for your loved ones, for your friends, for the community around you if you are not whole yourself. Oh, wow. Thank you. I've never seen that before. If you don't see me in the streets, you all will see me Monday morning. And everybody who is a sub, you will see me Sunday night at 7. Thank you very much. I appreciate you all. Please have a fantastic day. And I'm out. Thank you, Dawn. Welcome to the team, love. I love you guys too. I'm out. Boop.